Hello everybody and welcome back to Play Dicely. My name's Teni Dicely and I'm going to be your game master this evening, and it's our first actual live stream of the year. I'm so glad that I'm happy to see some people in the chat already. Hello to all of you, to Cole, to Kumbalai. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Well, I mean, I guess I'm just excited, nervous. It's been a while since we've done this live, so yeah. Let's go say hi to the hi to the rest of our cast. Hello to the lot of
everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
bye. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm so off my game. Oh dear. It's a good thing we're here. 2 game. So I don't know if any of the cast has any announcement this evening, but before I pass it over to them, I do want to put out a just a heads up as to, I guess, a change in our content. We're no longer going to be doing recaps for these sessions. Instead, we're going to kind of hold off and kind of do more like arc recaps. So like when a big section of the story, which honestly, there's probably not going to be too many of these coming up left, because we're kind of getting to the end game, honestly.
No.
So yeah, when an arc ends, we'll do a recap of that whole arc. But yeah, it's not going to be episode by episode anymore, so you won't see that in the pre-show either. Yeah, so that's really all I had to add. Does anybody else have any announcements?
No, just to sort of springboard off that, though, do you think we should go back and make those arc videos for, like, previous arcs that have already been completed? Just to make it a nice full format?
You can do it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, that, whatever you want to do, I'll help facilitate it, but...
Sounds like Ryan voluntold himself for a job there.
That's how I got stuck with it the first time. I was like,
working on
wouldn't this
a
be neat? And then I did it for
Signalis
2
video,
years.
Mike.
Isn't this a good idea?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a
Ryan.
Signalis video.
Well, now you got to get to the content mine, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do a recap for everything up to this point, and then we start doing arcs.
Oh God.
That'd be a massive video.
The children, they yearn for the mines.
You got this. Each video is just like, shit happened.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
It did. It's true. It's true. Well, with that, I guess I'll shout out the boy. So, hey guys, you guys know this already. There's a man who exists, and his name is Tim. An individual who has music that will boost your Timagination at the table. And he truly will help your players put the Tim in intimidation when they make their intimidation checks at the table. So if you use these wonderful audio assets from Tim Tabletop, go to his website. He's got a Patreon. He releases stuff pretty regularly, and it's all pretty dang good. And it'll cost you the low price of a bag of Doritos. So, you know, sacrifice a bag of Doritos and get yourself some Timmy Tunes. And just remember, Tim is money.
What I'm hearing from this is that Doritos are too expensive now.
Yeah, probably.
It's a great price for monthly music, bad price for a bag of Doritos, if I'm being honest.
Oh God. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you for...
That being said, if Doritos wants to hit us up, like...
We'll
We're
tell
open.
people how expensive you are.
I will eat you on stream. Easy, no problem.
Okay,
Somebody
well, we're
clip
not
that.
that kind of stream.
Oh, I missed
Anyway.
a Tim pun. Fuck. Anyways, carry on.
Ugh.
got it next time. Hang on to it in your
I
pocket.
guess. Yeah.
Whew. All right, well, without further ado, if you guys want to play some D&D,
Yay!
Yeah, just sweet ass.
Yeah.
I would like to play.
all right. Whew. Why am I a DM? It gives me such anxiety. All right. Where we left off, the Seekers have opted to wait for the new moon, at which point the entryway into the final Druid Enclave is said to be open. But the party's a little on edge as well, as there is an undead Aboleth that is apparently integral to this doorway. As the days have passed by, the party is surprised by a sudden visitation from Nell's twin sister Runa, as well as a new friend, and they're beset by demons. After the party quickly goes and saves them from the pursuing demon, the party learns that this new friend's name is the Grey. They are a changeling who's been cursed, and they're essentially not able to be remembered, and their appearance is constantly shifting. And Drac offers to cure them of this curse that was apparently put on them by a hag. And after returning to the Lake of the Bog Beast, where the party has set up camp, Drac does so quite handedly. And the new person is able to reveal their name as Aurelius, a kind of skittish, nervous, socially awkward individual, but they seem to be very grateful for the company. And also to be free from the curse. The party continues to wait while Runa and Aurelius go out and level up. And in the midst of this time, the party begins to plant the remainder of their magical beans, with such craziness as pink toads spawning that, upon touch, turned into bugbears, a treant in an odd Mr. Potato Head kind of shape-esque named Billy Bonsai, or Bonsai Billy, sorry, and a series of eggs, which Azaria decided to eat a few with explosive results. And other party members benefited with less explosions and more stat changes instead. And that brings us to where we are now. The night of the new moon is here, and the stars that have been dancing across the surface of the Lake of the Bog Beast are now settled, and a pink glow begins to emanate from within the water. What are you all doing?
Was Agnite this night, or was Agnite a previous night?
It was a previous night.
Great, I have HP.
Yes,
It's like real important to know before.
That's very important. Yeah.
We should have stopped you if it was this night.
Yeah.
Alan just one-shots me.
That would have been a big party mistake.
Mhm.
Let you get away with that.
Boy. All right. I think. Nell. Does Nell have aid prepared?
Sure do.
Do you want to split the party on that?
Yar. Is it popping off? Are we here? Is it time?
It is the
Oh,
night
it
of the
lasts
new
for 8
moon.
hours. Sick.
Yeah. So I was. What time is it, Denny? Sorry.
Oh, it's the night of the new moon. Like
It's night. Okay. So
the sun has set,
um,
the moon is up, and it's pretty much blacked out.
Okay. I'm gonna do a 4th level aid on I'll do myself, Elwyn, and Abe
Why would you do a 4th level?
to give more hit points.
Oh, I see.
So
How many hit points is that?
that would be 15 additional hit points.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Hot diggity.
Oh, well, now I feel bad. I don't want to use my 4th level for that. So whoever I hit is
You
going to
don't
get
have to.
less. Who did you do? Did you do the wikis?
I guess I could do the wikis.
No. He chose Big
I guess
Boy
I
McGee.
should.
Ah, yes.
If you're concerned.
The seekers have fallen into classism.
Jesus.
So you know, I'll just fly away.
I'll show you.
The wiki.
As you say the wikis, I was like, hey, our last Enclave big fight, I was like one of the only ones who didn't go down.
That's
Yeah,
so true. Well,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do then. I'll do. I don't think Abe necessarily needs that many more hit points, unless you want them.
Nonsense.
Badly.
of.
Somebody else can probably make more use of them.
No, but
Really?
you're kind of like
He's
get
the
up
guy
in
who
the
gets
face
hit.
of things.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but
Actually, yeah, I am
with-
gonna do myself, Abe, and Elwyn. I think that's fine. That makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Bigger number, better person.
I have self-replenishing temporary hit points, but
True. So maybe
This
not
ups
eight,
your
and a self
maximum temporarily, right? Is that
Yeah.
how it works? Yeah.
I mean, the other person I would consider would be Azaria. 'Cause
It would
Gideon
definitely
also
be
has
useful.
A good amount of hit points.
Yeah, maybe give it to Azaria.
Okay.
Because I can do it. I just don't know if it's like a huge point. Because if I just do it second, it's only 5 points extra for everyone.
Everything helps, but yeah. Okay. So
Do you guys, does the rest of us want it? It would be me, Gid, and Abe, right?
I mean, I'm doing all right for HP. Like I got 118. It's not terrible.
Okay, and you're in the back usually, anyways, right?
Yeah, I'm a tanky ranged boy, so.
Okay. Well, worst comes to worst, I'll just cast as an action and then feel bad about it. So
That's all right.
well, it is an action. It's not a ritual.
I know I meant like in
Well, like,
combat.
In combat.
Oh, I see.
Like take a turn to do it.
I got you.
'Cause yeah, what is it? It increases it by 5. So I could do
Yeah,
it
they're-
at third, I guess, and give you 10 each. Now I feel bad because Drax's showing off, and I feel like I'm being stingy.
You have less spell slots.
Yeah,
we
I'm
understand.
You're a
trying
half
to get
caster.
prepared for what's ahead.
Your spell
I
slots
have
are
the ability to do so. I might as well.
big
That's true.
numbies. So
Yeah.
do not
Save
feel
your
bad.
magic now if you need to. Your spell power is more useful when you hit something really, really hard.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just hit everything so hard that it never has a chance to hit anybody else.
That's fine
That
with me
is a
too.
legitimate strategy.
Prevention is the best medicine.
Me playing every video game. Who
They
needs
can't
defense?
stop me if there's no one to stop me.
All right.
I think that's all I'm gonna do for preparatory purposes.
All right. So between Drac and
Hey,
Nell.
Jack, how's it going?
Oh yeah, Jack. So the party is pretty much getting aided up.
Well, I didn't cast it, so it's just
Oh.
track.
Very good.
Yeah.
Myself, Elowen,
I-
Azaria.
Sounds good. Oh, I'm a fool. Guess who said they were gonna reconnect the music things and failed to do that during these weeks? Oh,
Don't worry, we got the music for you.
much
We
appreciated.
can set the vibe.
Yeah. That's real Aboleth fighting music right there.
Ba-ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-dee-ba-boo. Seinfeld music plays in the background.
So with Drac casting aid upon some of the other party members. As previously stated, the surface of the lake, where each night stars had been dancing across it, they've now ceased in their movement. And the stars seem to have coalesced toward the north end of the lake. And at this point, you guys have already found where the Aboleth skull was, so you kind of figure that this is, like, revealing that location. But then, like I also said, beneath the surface of the water, there is a dull, like, dimming and undimming of pink light. But nothing seems to happen. There's a bit of tension. You don't know how long this window's gonna be. Azaria and Drac, can I have the pair of you make perception checks?
'21.
17.
All right. The two of you examining the water, you notice that the thrumming pink light, it's not from a singular source, but it is a mass source of the black, pink spotted frogs, and they are swimming to the north end as well. The reeds along the shoreline that have all been kind of Rorschach-y in their appearance are now completely black and have been growing so over the last few days. But yes, it seems the frogs are gathering also in that same direction where the stars have begun to pool.
Follow the frogs.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah. Let's go.
I'll cast light on my great axe just to have it.
Very good. So,
So, Jenny, I don't know what fly stat Baru has. So I looked up all out of the 3 that are mentioned in Fine Greater Steed, they all have different ones. Between like a Paraton, a Pegasus, and a Griffin. So
Right.
I don't know. Like 60, 80, and 90. So
it'd probably likely be a 60-foot because it's
60.
primarily a ground creature originally.
cool. Sounds
Yeah, I still haven't made that stat block. For that, I also apologize.
good. No, it's fine. I don't really think I'll use him to fight so much, but I just want to have him around just in case. We'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. So, you guys are following the frogs along the shoreline, I would assume? Not jumping into the water?
Not
No.
just yet.
Not
Yeah.
until we have to.
But
No,
the
I'll go in the
goggles
water
are-
once I must.
Speaking
We
of
can
Drac,
part
did you
it again if
cast-
we need to.
Did you cast water breathing on us or no?
Nope.
That's not what you have. You have water walk.
I have water walk available.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
In case we need to make a speedy exit.
And are there any words that are being said to Runa and Aurelius before you guys head off?
That's what I was wondering. Did they already leave or are they still here?
No, they're still here.
I feel like we
They're-
should send them away.
They're-
They're not coming
Yeah.
with us, right?
No,
Absolutely
No.
not.
their plan is to head out the following morning.
Okay.
We should have
Oh.
sent them away like yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I kind of skipped a bunch of days during the last session, if that's what you wanted to have done, we can say that happened.
I think so, because I just don't trust her to not like get involved if she sees something cool happening. So maybe send her away.
All right.
Get out of here.
So the two of them have gone off and headed. Nell, can I have you say odd or even?
Odd.
All right. They headed south towards Starcross. I was like, which one is it? All right. So yes, the lot of you follow the edge of the shore toward the north end, where the lot of you had set up a makeshift buoy that marked where the skull was. And indeed, this is where the stars, where the toads all seem to be coalescing. And in the water, there's disturbance that you're not used to with this lake. Like, the surface of the water is now kind of bubbly and like as if it were a feeding frenzy of fish or frogs.
Is there a pattern to the stars gathering here and like the glow from the frogs at all? Or does it just seem like they're just congregating?
It more seems like a congregation.
Okay.
Yeah, and it
How
does
far
look
away is it from us?
Oh, geez. Oh, gosh.
I don't need an exact. It's not for like anything specific.
Yeah, I think it was like 30 feet out into the water and like 15 feet down or 20 feet down. I don't
Like a-
recall. Yeah.
Angle situation.
Triangles.
Mm-hmm.
Are they real?
It's like, wonder if maybe like Abe or Nell could like throw a rock into the glowing center of it, see if something happens.
God, I would love to. We can both do it. I try to make mine skip.
All right, Nell skipping a rock. Abe, are you going to join in the rock throwing?
I just try to dunk it.
Yeah.
You just
very
dive
good.
into the water and dunk it.
Well, no, like try to lob it.
Nothing but net.
Yeah.
All right. So
Put a
Nell,
small
you're skipping yours.
Yep.
All right. So Abe, utilizing a strength-based skill, you're not going to have any problem with this. Nell, on the other hand, you're going to be using sleight of hand.
Six.
I love how this is how we find out that Nell can't skip rocks.
My dex is absolute shit.
I'm
I do that thing in real life that happens where my hand just like spasms and I just
Yeah.
throw and drop things, which for no reason.
Goes behind you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. We've all had this moment where we try to skip a rock on the water, and it just like jackknifes like directly, doesn't hop at all, just push into the water.
Yeah, I actually cannot skip rocks in real life, so this is just very accurate to me.
But Abe, you lob the rock and sails through the air, and boom, and the water splashes, and the disturbance beneath the water like kind of like gives it space, like a school of fish out in the ocean, like circling around a shark, trying to confuse it and not be the target. And then as the rock kind of settles a couple of seconds, the water kind of coalesces again, and the disturbance. Can I have you make an insight check?
Ooh, it's pretty bad. It is a 10, even with the 2 on the die.
It's odd behavior. Like, this is the kind of thing that you might see with like predatory fish that school up. It's not standard behavior for full-grown toads.
I don't think the frogs are as friendly anymore.
We just go in. Like, I feel like we just have to, right? That's
Yeah.
where the thing
So
is.
I think we
Are we going underwater?
I can part it if we need.
I'm wondering if I should set up a telepathic bond between all of us in case we do end up in a space where we can't speak.
It's not a
Can you-
bad idea.
Can you do
cool.
all of us? Oh, okay, yeah. So
Give me a full minute to sit here. I can do that for you.
totally.
Okay, I'll create a telepathic bond between the 8 of us. It only lasts for an hour, but if someone gets sucked underwater,
Wait, 8
or
of you?
between the 7 of us, sorry, it's up to 8. And me and my best friend.
And Grobo,
And
see what he's up to, and
Yeah.
Baru.
I have 7's wrong too. I was counting Denny in that
Yeah.
count.
Yeah, you sure were. Yeah,
All
adding
happy
Grobo to the
and
mix.
God.
Do you want to be
It's
here?
adding
So we can
Grobo to
read
the
his
telepathic
mind.
mix. It's like you just got like constant tinnitus going on. Oh,
Oh, God. Grobo.
I
Oh, he
heard
did
you
want to
say
test to see
party
if he had a brain.
rock and anthem.
Yeah.
He had a brain.
If we only had a brain.
all right. Could I have all of you make wisdom saving throws?
hate us. They always fail us.
Holy shit, I have such good wisdom. What the hell?
14.
22.
29.
A flat 20.
13.
I also got 29. Why the hell is my wisdom so good?
Because you have
Oh.
charisma.
Because my insight just got bumped. Is that part? No, that
Also,
is...
you add your. Don't we all add your bonus to saving throws?
If we're
Oh, yeah.
standing close enough.
Yeah, if everyone's near me, +5. So
Wow.
34.
19.
34.
18?
Holy shit.
27.
Please tell me a 19 16th.
If it doesn't, I'm fucked.
Thankfully, because of Nell's aura,
Whoa.
nobody has failed.
Let's go. Oh.
Wow.
We
Hey,
almost
this
got
is the
destroyed
first
by
Druid
a
temple
dungeon
where I'm
Guys,
not
we're
in
good
a
at
bad
this.
mood.
It's like we've done this before. We're finally figuring out how to prep for these.
Yeah.
Elowen, can I have you make a... Oh gosh, what would this be? An Arcana check.
Sure. 19.
The moment you cast this magic that allowed the telepathic communication was the moment where you felt something similar to back in Balesville, kind of like try and hijack into whatever magic you were casting. And for a brief moment, you realized you might have put the party in danger with that magic. However, based on looking at the other folks around you, it seems everybody's okay.
Okay. Did anyone else feel that?
You know what?
I was going to ask if that felt similar to what happened before, when the thing tried to co-opt your mind.
It did feel like a similar effect, didn't
It did feel similar.
I think that's the same intention.
All right.
Knows that we're here. That's good.
Shall we
You've also
head
just threw a
in?
rock at it. I assume it knows we're here.
Well, maybe it's ethereal
You
and it
don't
didn't
say.
feel the rock.
All right. So, am I parting the water, or are we doing a swim?
I would prefer. I can't breathe underwater.
All right.
I still think our plan was to spread out, right? How big is your parted water once it's done?
It is a. This is a long ass spell description. I'm just trying to find the part. It says, a trench. Oh, it's a cube that's 100 feet on a side.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
huge.
pretty
100 by
substantial-
100 foot trench just
Oh.
opened for us as
Okay.
we walk, and it moves with me. So
Mhm.
just
Okay.
every round, like I have to re-up that effect.
All right, sick. So then I'll have Baru kind of at the top of that cube, and like with the instruction that if a door seems open, like scoop someone and fly, kind of thing. And then who's the slowest other person? We decide.
I think I'm
Gideon?
on the low end.
No. I've got 40 walking speed.
Same.
Okay, I think it's me.
Okay,
I'm
then I'll be
30.
kind of like within 10 feet of Elowen, but I think otherwise we should be kind of spread out.
All right.
I will just be in the center of the group, whatever we're doing.
Drak, conjuring up his connection with the elements, parts the water, and it rises up and peels away like the curtain ahead of a theatrical stage, and revealing the ground, the bottom of the lake once again. And a lot of you look to where you know that the skull is. And what you reveal by peeling away the water, the frogs are going berserk in that area. Mud now is flying as they are scrambling into the wet soil and are peeling back the sand around the skull and trying to dig their way into the ground.
Gross.
Fuck.
I think
Is that
they're
where we need to
excavating
go?
it. Let's get
Let's
closer.
go.
Right.
Another thing you'll
That's
notice
what-
is, in addition to all of their spots kind of thrumming with that pink light, all of their eyes are also unnaturally glowing with that same pink.
We're gonna be
there
fighting
any
frogs
change in this?
today? Is that what we're doing?
The Aboleth appears, but its like body is like all frogs, like a rat king.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
The
That would be
frog
cool.
king.
Frogalith.
Whoa. Sick.
Is there any change to the skull at this moment?
The skull, not visually. It is revealed more than you had seen previous. And it seems the toads are digging, like, where the skull is, you can now see it's like an open mouth skull, and they've dug out a tunnel through the mouth and are proceeding to continue on.
How
think
big
we
is that?
follow the
Nowhere less I want to
frogs.
go, but all right.
Yep.
How big is it? Like big enough for us to walk through?
No, you have to crawl through.
Cool. Super duper.
Don't like that.
Let's
this.
crawl through the frog hole.
I'll hold the water out while we do this.
From what Rhea knew of the Aboleth, can you just remind me of like what type of creature it was, if we knew that?
Yes, an aberration.
What does that mean?
It means it's weird and it's not
It's a
from
natural-
here.
Unnatural.
It's alien.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to think. There's nothing like ethereal plane related with that, right?
Not that we know of.
The only creature type that really inherently has, and this isn't even like total to all of that category, is undead, like, ghosts, wraiths. Like,
Right.
there are things in other categories that ethereal, but there's not really a single category that is entirely.
Okay. Cool.
Elowen used True Sight before to like see that those energy lines. Was that in the ethereal plane, or was that just like see invisibility True Sight?
I don't even know how to answer that question, honestly.
Oh no.
It is
Sweet.
in the true sight vision.
Right.
Great.
Well,
All right, one by one. In the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
as we
unlocking a new
start
feed.
crawling through this thing, just knowing it's an aberration, I will cast protection from evil and good on myself.
All right. What's the order? Because you're only going to be able to go one at a time.
I'm going
Oh.
last because I'm holding the water out.
I'll dive in first.
I'll go behind Abe.
Just gonna grab a piece of paper.
I will reluctantly go third.
All right. I'll be behind Gideon.
I don't want to be last.
You're not
Travis.
Travis.
No, I
I'll
know.
be
I'll
behind
go
you.
now.
Did you want to be? Do you want to be
I
between
don't know.
me
I
and
don't want to be
Gideon?
anywhere. I don't want to be anywhere in here.
Yeah. So sorry, I got
Fine.
Abe. Then who was next?
Zarya.
Zarya. After Zarya,
Gid.
Gideon.
Kid.
Nell. Elowen.
And then
Drac.
Is it an action to take Baru from statue form to creature?
I don't remember.
Caused you
been so
such
long.
pain.
For now, I'll say yes.
Might as well just statue him then, so we can't get flying in here.
All right. Okay, and I just need to look at one thing. Get out of here.
Can you explain to me how extremely claustrophobic this is?
Oh, God.
I
Like,
would
are we,
love
are we
that,
going
actually.
into a like tunnel? Are we going
Yes.
into a skeleton? What are we doing?
Going into the frog hole.
We're following frogs down a hole.
We are crawling down a tight,
Mud.
claustrophobia-inducing corridor
Cool.
created
With a
by
bunch of
frogs
froggies.
with
Yeah.
questionable structural constitution
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah, and there's water
think
that
that's
would
what-
fill this hole should Drax
No,
manage
as
to
long
crawl.
as yes.
You
Well,
know.
it only lasts for 10 minutes, so we gotta crawl fast.
Oh my god.
Can you do another
Anytime in
cast
real
of it
life
if we
is
need
so
it?
Horrible.
I could, but that would expend the last of this spell energy for the day. And I feel like I should probably
I
save.
think otherwise I drown, so
Yep.
Well, hopefully the water would expedite our process downwards.
okay. Yeah, maybe.
It'll do something. Might collapse the whole damn thing.
Abe, as the one going in first, can I have you make another wisdom saving throw?
It would,
+5.
I'm outside of Nell's range, I presume, in this
That is
instance?
correct. There is two people between you and Nell. You are the only one outside of her aura.
It is still 23. Still doing okay.
Hot damn.
Nell should have been in the middle, is what we're learning.
I mean, she is kind of.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where Nell was, it was either going to be Abe or Drac out of the radius, so.
Yeah, there's always someone.
Or if Nell was further back or further forward, more people would have been out. So Abe, ahead of you, toads are scrambling through the dirt, and it seems that their task is made a little bit harder by the fact that there is not water here to soften the soil. So they're all scrambling and just like mindless horde trying to dig this tunnel. But you also notice that this seems to be a pretty regular occurrence, so to say, in that the soil didn't have enough time to like completely pack in. Like there are pockets occasionally, and the toads just scramble their way forward. Occasionally there is some water that splashes back and then just kind of hits the wall as Drac's magic just kind of deters the fluids. But you carry forward. And let's see, I'm gonna need to roll for that now. "10 minutes go by, and they haven't stopped digging. So I believe, Drac, you'll need to recast your control water if that is your desire.
Saving the spell slot.
All right, so you're not casting?
Fucking warn me before you don't cast that.
I think I would have. I wouldn't be like, oops, it's
Whoopsies.
dropped. Guess we're drowning.
All right.
Yeah, I would definitely warn everyone, like, we're losing time on this, friends. Get ready to hold your breath.
All right. As Drax says that, you all hear the sound of water rushing in behind you. And eventually is whoom, and you are underwater as the tunnel is now filled. Abe, your vision is now made murky by now mud and sand being tossed back in your direction. And it's just a cloud of water and dirt. But the tunnel continues forward. Now, with the addition of the water, the soil breaks away much more freely, and the toads accelerate in their digging. And oh dear, I don't recall the rules on how long one can hold their breath.
I believe it's 1 plus your con mod minutes.
I believe
Correct.
that is correct. But that's not going to be too much of a worry, as they have rolled a critical 20 on their digging.
Let's go,
Frogs.
frogs.
MVP.
The
Yeah.
frogs.
Frogs are honorary
Emboldened
seekers now.
by the flame of the freaking rock.
Of the freaking rock. So, even before anybody really begins to worry about running out of air, the tunnel seems to dig upward a little bit. And suddenly, there's stopped digging. And you hear as toads begin to hop out of the water. And it seems that they've come to a pool.
The frickin' pool.
I guess once we, assuming it's stable enough to like get out and stand up on, I'll just reach my hand in and pull people out.
Yeah, so you come out of the tunnel at the bottom of a pool and you make your way up. It's a shallow pool. Make your way up to the shore and begin helping everybody out. And it now, you are in, aside from the light given off by your axe and the dull pink glow of the toads that are kind of resting nearby, it seems you're in a cave. An underground network, it seems. Like there are paths ahead. You are in a dead end right now where this pool is. And it seems that there are branches of tunnels up ahead that you can go in. The walls are made out of packed in soil, rocks occasionally jutting out, roots. You are underground.
Does it, like, just for my own brain, how we crawled through the skeleton, does it make sense that all of a sudden we're in a cave now? Or is that kind of like some weird, like, warping stuff going on?
It's like they've dug into the earth, and it's not like a rock cave. It is more like tunnels underground.
Okay. So now that we're here, can we see like anything from the skeleton, or just where we came from?
Just where you came from.
Weird.
Azari, can I have you make an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Guidance.
Hot damn.
And with guidance, 36.
Oh, fuck!
I know magic.
Everything.
Oh my god.
The amount of
Frick,
worry that you've all had about this Aboleth. Now, in hindsight, this kind of makes sense. Why would druids put something inherently dangerous in an exit of their enclave? Rather, it should hopefully be more of a deterrent, unless one is less strong-willed.
You like that?
Okay.
All right.
The hell of a guest entrance.
Yeah. That was
Keeps you out.
a fun mind game.
This is what foyers are for.
I don't know if druids
Correct.
consider interior design when they create their enclaves.
Yeah, I don't think they
Actually, we're really big on interior design.
Oh,
see Gideon
Foolish of me
like
to
pulls
assume.
his
Apologies.
guns out and like prestidigitations them, and there's just a big glob of mud that comes out of the barrel, and he's like, I don't think you did. Don't think you did, honestly.
One of
how many tunnels are there ahead of us?
it's like one branches off into two, and as far as you can see into the darkness, branches off into who knows how much beyond that.
Are they like humanoid sized? Like we can walk through them, or do we have to crawl?
You
some more?
can walk through these places. They're slightly bigger, and it looks like there isn't a regularity in their size. Like in some spots you might have to squeeze through, in some spots it gets a little tighter, but it's comfortable still.
The
But-
last
No.
question for me: are there any signs of recent life or movement?
Can
Any
I have
tracks
you
in the
make
ground?
perception check? Sorry, what was that last part you said?
Any like tracks on the ground, like hand prints on walls, etc., that kind of thing.
Very good. All right, with that knowledge, make a survival check for me.
All guidance track.
Yes. 21 plus a D4, which I'll just roll in person because it's easier. 22.
All right. With the little bit of light that is available to you, though you do now have dark vision, the light does help. You do note that there are some tracks on the ground. They appear like roughly smaller than a medium-sized creature. Kind of like a burrowing mammal. Though it's not like claws of digging, it looks like it was passing through.
It's like a fucking worm down here or some shit.
Did I look around to see, like, similar to when on the road, when I had seen, like, you know, the druidic language kind of in nature, and, like, we're able to gain some insight from that? Could I see if there's any signs of either things left or, like, natural tellings of, like, where nature wants us to go.
All right, can I have you make? I'll just have you make an intelligence check, so as we're using your magic spellcasting ability. Or I guess it could be nature. We'll use nature.
If it's nature, then add a 10 to that.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Yeah,
so
it's
33.
33.
Let's go.
So, Azaria, reaching out to your surroundings and trying to get the sense of this, essentially, a home to a section of your people, and you feel the soil walls, and you run your hand along, and you feel the occasional pebble, and you go to one of the tunnels and you feel the walls there. Same kind of texture. You go to another tunnel before proceeding further on. And you notice that one of these tunnels specifically has the occasional root poking out of it. The roots might be the guide.
I think we should go this way.
I trust you.
I trust Azaria in a Druid Enclave, yeah.
Yep.
I'll take the lead, kind of going forwards, it's guiding us through this, feeling the walls of any tunnels going forward.
All right.
I'm gonna bring up the rear so that I can try to track the way we came in case we get lost.
I was gonna think about like mapping it as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gideon will also take up the rear, just like gun at the ready, goggles on, just sweeping around for any potential threats.
All right.
I'll
So you
go
begin.
right after Azaria.
Azaria, can I have you make a survival check with advantage?
$25.
All right. Azaria leading the way. Hands to the walls every once in a while, especially when a split in the tunnels comes about. You begin navigating your way through this network. Like giant ant colony kind of feel to it. And Drac and Gideon, as the two at the back, you notice that also one of the toads is hopping along and following the group.
All right.
Drac, you see it, right?
Yep.
I could put it right between the eyes if you want. Just put one right there.
Gideon, it's just a frog.
Clearly, it's not just a frog, Drac.
I mean, let's maybe have Azaria talk to it before we dish out indiscriminate violence on a frog.
Drac, all I know is that saying it's just a something has led us down numerous rabbit holes, okay? Alright? Hillip Rowe was just a guy, alright? At the end of the day. But he was being piloted by something, okay?
All right, but I'm just saying, maybe we don't want to just hurt the frogs here.
Maybe not, but we're in hostile territory now.
And it is a little off-putting and definitely ruins any stealth it had if it was trying to be sneaky. But like anytime it falls beyond like the light of Abe's axe, you can see the pink eyes glowing in the dark behind you.
That's a little creepy, but otherwise, I know it's a frog.
It's just a frog, Drac.
And then you hear
We'll keep an eye on it.
I'll keep two eyes on it, Drac.
All right, good.
You want me to talk to the frog?
If you think it's necessary, Azaria, sure. But otherwise, I think we should keep moving.
And
Might just be like another test, you know, like if you kill the frog, I don't know, might be like a sign against the druids, right?
yeah, I'm not about us killing the frog. As we're walking, so it is only an action. I will use a first level spell slot to cast Speak with Animals. Do I recognize this frog? Is this frog my cousin?
well, all frogs are
Hey,
your cousins.
What's up?
I'll
Nerd.
do like, what's up? Can we help you? 'Cause I'll keep kind of
Do you understand deep speech?
No.
Do any of us?
Nope, it's probably the stuff I heard in my dreams.
And I'm like, yeah, that frog's possessed.
Yeah,
I don't know what by what, but
upon not hearing or seeing a response that seems appropriate, it begins to like. Where have all ye druids gone? They have not exited from some time.
that is true.
I am here trapped in a jail of their making, and yet they've left me behind.
Well, maybe. Your problems will be solved when we solve other problems. And, maybe they didn't mean to leave you behind. The world got real fucked up. Say as we, continue on. I'm, not making eye contact with this thing. I'm... don't take my mind, don't take my mind. I think the frog is the Aboleth.
Yeah, as you guys are navigating through the tunnels, it's trying to keep up and continues talking. Everybody else just hears croaking, but Azara, you hear it just full on trying to converse with you. What has become of the world beyond?
Well, it was on fire at one point. Dragons took over. But now it's kind of back to normal. As normal can. It also might be ending.
That does bring this one some comfort.
The world ending does? Don't you exist in the world? Would you still exist without it?
Do I, wouldn't I? Oh, the deep philosophies of long beyond knowledge.
Oh, that's fair. But as an all-powerful thing in a frog, is it you're one to have inevitably ruled this world, and wouldn't you be unable to do that if it was destroyed?
You don't even think you understand my motivations or goals. I, for all you know, am biding my time to return, and who knows, maybe I do want this world gone. Maybe I want to bring my brethren back to make it our own, and its end as it was, populated with ants, is less desirable.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Make an insight check.
12.
It's possible, due to a long time of seclusion and also being a door per se, this thing might have gone a little insane. It's not really reliable.
Yeah. Well, I still think we shouldn't kill the frog, because unfortunately I do think it is just a frog that is unwillingly possessed. And we wouldn't have killed Abe when he was unwillingly possessed, or myself, or anyone else here.
The frog oddly arches its back and like a wolf howling at the moon,
Oh god, this poor creature.
You
But
sure
guys,
that's just a frog?
Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
It's
let's just
definitely
eyes
not just a
forward.
frog there.
Yeah, let's just all ignore the fucked up frog.
But it is...
I got a
think
shot
that's-
trained on it right now. I could stop this conversation real quick.
Gideon,
No.
you put that gun back right now.
Gideon,
okay?
you've got
Put
your
this
shot
gun
trained
down.
on it?
Well, He's just kind of got his gun up, like, what the fuck is going on here?
Fantastic. Can I have you make a wisdom saving throw? As suddenly in the middle of its forehead, a third pink eye opens.
Oh, good.
So just leave the frogs alone, Gideon.
They're not just frogs.
Are you close
They're
enough
the
to know?
enemy.
Yeah, we'll say you're close enough to know.
Oh, that's a big 13.
That's very good. You
Oh.
get that +5 then.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
That's an 18. After now.
As you train your gun on the frog and like make eye contact with it, and that third eye opens, there's a moment where you feel like you're falling out of your own body and quickly come back to yourself. I leave this choice in your hands. However, you do feel an intense pressure to fire.
If I see him,
roll
like,
a dice.
I would be like grabbing the gun if it feels like he's not listening to us
I don't think you're
anymore.
dexterous enough to stop him.
Yeah,
That is
Hey!
also
that is very...
true.
Your reaction time's not good.
All right, I'm gonna set a DC. Let's say if I beat 14, I don't fire. I'm gonna roll a wisdom save. If I beat 14, I don't fire.
Go get the +5.
Plus 5 from
Got a
now.
+5.
21.
There you go.
Boom.
There you go. Now
26.
you don't have to be dexterous. You just get to being
Exude.
around people is your dexterity.
So Gideon will like snap back, and there'll be that instinct where his previous hair trigger will flinch a little bit, but he will stop himself. He will lower his weapon. He'll say, "That thing just tried to make me shoot the frog."
And
Yeah.
He just puts his
As-
gun on his back.
as you put the gun away and the frog's third eye closes, it then like you hear a as it kind of shrivels up like a mummy and lays
Oh, Jesus.
motionless.
Oh, I could have just shot it. Well,
No, I think if you shot it, it would have fucking gone into you. So let's just establish a rule as we go through.
yeah. So what was that
Something-
third eye about? Did you see that?
Gideon, it's a creature that tries to possess the mind. So if it was in the frog, it was trying to get into you. So just think eyes forward, heads down. Let's just go through
Yeah.
this. Let's not shoot anything pink and glowing. Just to be
Don't
safe.
think we... I mean, like, similar to an animal, like, you don't want to, the most dangerous animal is a trapped animal. And I think this thing has gone kind of crazy. Being trapped here. And that, like, its logic was a little flawed. Seemed just like a little loopy. Little like it would be willing to, like, I think do anything to get out of its trappings, even if it meant the whole universe ending.
Great.
Between Drac and Rhea, who has the better wisdom for saves?
Drac. Absolutely. I only
Okay,
have,
so then
I had
I'm-
a 3.
I'm standing so that Drac is admitted from the aura. Sorry, pal.
Okay.
Very good.
As you've seen in every enclave we've gone to, I've always succumbed. Wisdom. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, with that frog ordeal out of the way, you carry on, and Azaria feeling the walls for the roots to guide them. Time goes by, now without any breaks in the silence from following frogs. It's just the sound of your own footsteps crunching on soil and your breathing. You listen into the darkness beyond what you can see. It is very quiet. This place gives you a sense that this had once been like a hive of a sort, like something like this would have been probably populated immensely by who knows whatever, well, the druids you can assume, but like this is a lot of space, or it's intended to be confusing.
Do I feel anything? Oh, go ahead.
Yes, can I have you make a perception check
I was gonna ask to use my bracers and feel the ground. But I'll do a perception check. 26?
Funnily enough, it is through your feet you perceive this sensation. As
Oh, sure.
the vibrations go up through your body and into the gauntlets, and your forearms kind of shake a little bit.
Something below us, friends.
Something below you. Not big. Maybe bigger than a dog?
It's moving.
When the group stops, it too stops.
Don't like that.
What do you do?
There's something following us below the ground.
I think we just have to let that be the case. It might be another Aboleth possession.
Upon
Got a
the
small
group,
shovel. We can
upon
spook
the
it.
group stopping and having a quick word, Drac, you feel that thing exit your radius.
Go on.
Probably can sense us walking. We can't do much about that.
I mean, unless we all fly. But I
But
think we just keep
fly
following
if
the
we
path.
could figure out the magic. We
Mhm.
cared enough.
That last though.
Yeah. I suppose not long.
No.
At least we're aware of whatever this thing is.
Yep.
Is there any benefit to having Rue going down a separate path towards where you felt it, and just kind of stomping and making a bunch of, not making much, but just kind of walking as a distraction?
I don't know. We don't even know where we're going yet. Or what we're looking for, really. I guess we're trying to find the Archdruids, but
There's like a well in that vision I had had.
so
Kind of all I've got.
I think we just keep following your instinct, Azaria.
Well, keep leading us.
All right. The party
Wait,
carries
you're
on.
mute. Sorry, you were just like, your mouth moved on my screen and I heard nothing.
Oh, okay.
I was
I'm
like, oh, I think you're...
I'm not. I swear. Yeah. So the group of you continue moving forward, and shortly after doing so, Drac, you feel that vibration again, and it's coming up out of the ground now.
Swerte!
And the soil beneath your feet breaks way, and long claws, kind of sloth-like, break the soil, and the dirt is pushed aside, and from the ground, a snout with like a starfish,
Dog mole!
and it scrambles head up out of the dirt. It is a mole the size of a dog. A dog mole.
Aw.
Did you say it's been less than 10 minutes since the chat with the frog, Aboleth?
No, it's been longer than it. The Frogalith.
Is this one glowing pink or? just
This
vibing?
one comes now out of the dirt and kind of like does a circle.
I'll toss a ration on the ground for it, some food.
It's freaky looking.
It is a little strange. Anybody who's encountered dog moles before, you know that they tend to kind of, well, live in underground environments, and goblins are known to have domesticated these creatures to aid them in mining purposes. But of course, they can be kind of found in many places in the Underdark, in the Underearth. And yeah, whatever it is you throw to it, it like gets like snout right over top of just.
Does it look pleased?
Faces are great.
Yeah, it eats it, like ponders it, accepts it. And it then does another circle and like heads off in a direction and then like stops and looks back.
It seems to want us to follow it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take this as another
Is
sign.
this thing? Sorry, did you answer if this thing has glowing pink going on?
It does
Or is
not.
it just normal? Okay.
It is just a normal dog mole.
Zarya, do you think this is a druid that has changed its form? Trying to lead us?
I'll be like, are you a druid who has
You have to
changed their
tell us if you're a
form?
druid.
Yeah. This is otherwise entrapment.
It sits down and like
Oh,
Like it understood me.
mm-hmm.
Are you a friend of the druids, though? All right. Good enough for me. It's not a freaking bullet coming out from under the ground, so I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Man, imagine if the druids had befriended a bullet.
Whoa.
it'd be hard for us, I think.
It would be a little tough, yeah.
Alright. Yeah, let's follow the I'll follow the dog mole.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. The dog mole seems like quite excited, does another spin, and then like books it off.
Do I feel
down.
like this dog mole has good intentions, Denny?
What's that? Just go ahead and make an insight check.
Trust no one, not even cute dog moles. 13. Oh, I should have had you roll for me, but it's okay.
I forgot we were doing that. This creature's not something you're quite familiar with, so it's hard to gauge.
It's fair. Doesn't blink when it's lying.
In fact, it almost seems blind.
Yeah.
But it races off down some tunnels. And
I've never been let down by a dog or a mole before. First time for anything.
I don't think I've seen a mole. It's very exciting.
there comes certain points where Azaria, you notice like there are some tunnels where there are multiple paths that begin to have roots kind of protruding from them, and the dog mole proceeds to run down like very specific pathways. And can I have you make a Constitution saving throw?
Sure.
+5.
22.
Oh, just the one leading the pack. The pressure's on you a little bit to try and keep up with this dog mole. So, you know, just a...
I can run 120 feet a turn if I want to.
yeah, I'm not just adding some spice to the game. I don't know what your
Please
sprint
don't.
capacity
I can't move
is.
that fast.
There is a difference
Don't
between
leave
how
me
fast you can run and
behind.
your lung capacity.
See? It's about the lungs.
Yeah, I'm like a sprinter, not necessarily a marathon runner.
Yeah, so the lot of you are getting the hustle on keeping up with this, and Azaria has set a good speed to accommodate the group. And after quite a few minutes of running through this network of tunnels, eventually you come into one that is... It widens out. This looks like it used to be a lived-in place. There are furs on the ground, like makeshift beds. There are alcoves carved out of the soil walls to kind of like, whether that they might be purposed as beds or as shelving. It almost gives you a less mountain-esque feel as the the oh dear, the den that you guys went to for gosh, it was so long ago. The den of the beast.
Oh, in the Dunan Mountains.
Yes.
Yeah, the cannibals. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. There's like clay pottery around. Some of it's not stood well to the test of time. And yeah, it looks like this place was left in a bit of a hurry. And the dog mole kind of stops in here and turns around to the lot of you and lets out a bit of a whine.
This where we need to be?
And it looks, just takes a moment to kind of like sink in memories, and then slowly begins to leave this space. And it's leading you now through a series of these kind of bigger rooms. They might have had different purposes for this group. Like some might have been more community gathering places. One appears to be more like worshipping in nature. Like there are some relics and totems. Yeah, and it just kind of like slowly walks through this place. Just kind of like it. Gideon, it kind of gives you a sense of that same hesitation when you too were scared to go back to Balesville. It's, in a way, it's pain and a reluctance to be here, especially now that it is here. But it's like, you kind of respect that it has a duty that it's fulfilling.
Yep. I will immediately have a kindred spirit with this dog now. This dog, it's not going to die. I want it.
As it's leading us through this more kind of like poignant feeling place for it, I'll just ask him, do you know what happened to them? Sort of.
Zarya, it might be worthwhile to have a real chat with this friend.
Yeah.
I'll use a speak with animals. Like,
I only vaguely know what's happened.
Oh, he's too cute.
well, I mean, so we're here
Oh.
specific. I do speak dogmal sometimes.
Oh,
Only sometimes, though.
oh, that's nice.
We were brought here, guided here, to try and bring the druids back.
Oh, good. That's So I think you're the one I've been waiting for.
I guess so. And yeah, we've. Oh, you go.
Oh, I didn't really have a chance to introduce myself. They've named me Bezius.
Easiest?
Yes, I'm the keeper of this grove.
That's so amazing. I love this dog. Well, we'll hopefully get the rest of the druids back. We've been to 2 of the other enclaves and have already done that.
Well, I sure hope you can help, because it's been very lonely. I've been kind of like, Lantana told me to watch over her, but I can't really. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Where Did they go? You lead us that way?
Yes, it's gonna be... Lantana told me it would be dangerous for anybody who went to them. You'll need to face yourself. So, I hope you're ready.
I mean, we're as ready as we ever will be. And then in common, I will relay that to everyone. The other enclaves were kind of like, there was a problem. This one almost feels like it might be a test.
Can you ask for clarification if Theseus knows about what they meant when they said face ourselves? Like a doppelganger of us, or like our worst fears or something, you know?
Yeah, is this like a metaphor, or is this like a literal situation of facing ourselves?
I don't know what either of those words mean.
Will we actually have to fight ourselves, or do we just have to deal with maybe things that make us afraid or uncomfortable or insecure?
Wouldn't both of those do the same?
I think I'd actually feel a lot better physically fighting myself than maybe dealing with my deepest, darkest fears sometimes, so...
Okay, well, I'm the bearer of bad news. I really don't know. Like I said, I haven't been able to go after Lantana, so...
That's fair. Well, we'll go get all the druids back. And hopefully this place will be thriving again.
Yeah, okay. I really hope so. Yeah.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Yes. Is Theseus the only dog mole here? And were they from here originally, or did the druids like bring them?
Yeah. Do you have like a community here? Like, are you the only one of your kind around here? How did you come to work with the druids?
Well, I realize they lived well under the ground here, so I think at some point they just kind of came across us, and we came to an understanding. I mean, all of my family and cousins have since, like, run away, but I stuck around because I have a job.
You were such a good boy.
I am aware.
I'll give all the scritches.
Oh, I've never been able to reach that spot. That's rather nice. Now,
Well,
if you're ready, I can take you to the well.
I don't know if we ever
Sorry,
will be ready, but yeah,
Is there perhaps advantage to be gained by exploring the space where these druids lived? Maybe there's some hint about the trials ahead that we could find.
maybe. That's actually not a bad idea. Any of
Have those
these,
sometimes.
yeah, any of these like little rooms and stuff, like places of dwelling, like was there like any areas where like they've kept books or knowledge that they had gathered?
Well, I don't know what a book is, but I can show you where they kept the knowledge.
I'll show him a book. Huh? This is what a book is.
You
I literally
pull it
have
out.
one like on my holster.
You pull it out and like pull it out in front of Bezius, and they're like, and like just get all like nose up on it and smelling.
That's weird. It's like a tree.
Yeah, it's like a tree. Once it was a tree.
Oh,
You can call it post tree.
Well, let's see where the knowledge was kept.
okay.
And the way it was going, it then turns around and like goes through a different tunnel. and the lot of you follow. Eventually, it brings you into a smaller but still kind of open space. And it looks, in a way, Nell, it kind of reminds you of like the pillow meditation circle that you and your siblings set up at home. Like there's a ring of furs that have been laid on the ground, and nothing in the middle of this ring. And illuminated by Abe's axe, the walls you can see are painted. There's hieroglyphics similar to Drax's home.
Are there any that are very similar to Drax's home?
Can I have you make an investigation check?
Oh, good. Famously good at this. Cool 7.
A cool 7. Not particularly.
Okay.
Let's see. Whoever has proficiency in nature, can I have you make a nature check?
$21.
Anyone?
Just as naturey as Cesaria.
Fantastico.
What's 16 plus 8?
24.
24.
Oh, damn!
Did I get higher? Sorry.
You did!
Eh.
Okay.
Whew.
I know nature too.
So, because this is hilarious, I'm actually going to give this one to Nell. So, kind of looking at the hieroglyphs of the wall, the three of you kind of pick up on different things. For Azaria, you notice that a lot of the depictions on these walls are stories of this community. And though not uncommon to see in Druid culture, but there's a lot of like transformation from person to animal. But in some of these hieroglyphs, you also see that there's like a common in-between stage in this community, a where stage that they seem to be able to tap into. Elowen, you looking through these hieroglyphs. Oh dear, let me see where my secrets and clues are.
Benny, your camera on stream has died.
Oh my god! Well, I don't know what that's about.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that popped up said battery exhausted.
No!
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no.
That would do it, wouldn't
for
it?
a run.
All right. Well, you know what? In that case, how about we take a break here and I'll deal with that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Thank you, Void Box.
yeah, no worries.
Oh, no. Danny got consumed by the void.
I'm the darkest
I hate
demon.
when that
rescue
happens.
him.
Oh
Benny
boy!
will
All
save
right,
you.
we'll be back here in a few. Oh bye. Wait a minute, I don't even know. Where's the? There we go.
By the void.
Bye for a minute. And hello again, everybody, and welcome back from the break. Don't know what happened to my camera. Got a replacement set up.
Oh, look at it. You're here? It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, better to... Actually, this camera isn't too bad, so it's like, yeah, it's fine. All right. So where we left off before the break, you'd all made your way into the Druid Enclave, swimming in through a tunnel dug by toads through an Aboleth skeleton. Now inside the network of tunnels that are underneath the marshlands in eastern Sicramund, you've begun to find your way through, dealing with a strangely possessed toad and coming across a creature called a dog mole, which is pretty self-explanatory, honestly, but it is also adorable and turns out to be the keeper of this Druid Enclave. The rest of you, well, I guess the entire group, made their way into a room filled with hieroglyphics, and we were just divulging some information. So, Azaria, I already told you that you learned that this enclave has some connections with werewolf forms. Elwyn, you kind of pick up from amongst the hieroglyphs on the wall that there's... Oh dear, how to put this? That the Aboleth has been there for, it seems, probably a couple millennia. Like, this thing is ancient, and this caste of druids considered themselves more warrior-like than maybe a lot of the others. And you see hieroglyphs of not only the Aboleth, but other strange entities, floating orbs with a singular eyeball and several stalks, piles of goo with many whipping tendrils, and just things that are completely not natural, completely out of this world. It seems that this caste of druids is a warrior caste meant to track down such abominations and rid the world of them. And now, what you find is the well is it's a spiritual kind of experience. Like, it depicts on the wall like a well, and then like a massive open cavern beneath it, and like there's like little images of like stalactites and stalagmites, and it seems that this well will lead down into the under-earth proper. And like at the edges of this illustration of this cavern that it descends into, it's like the walls turn to cloud. And you get the sense that this is some sort of reflection of nobody knows the way down there, but they are guided through some sort of spiritual experience, provided that they succeed. So it is, in a way, a conquering of one's fear and an ability to trust in oneself.
Okay. Very interesting.
I just climbed down that creepy hole. I feel like I can do anything at this point.
Yeah. Truly.
These druids seem cool. I like them. Hunters like me.
Yeah.
Well, except for these creatures look a little bit more dangerous. Rather
Perhaps.
worldly. Is maybe the better word.
It is common in our belief that we are supposed to like rid the world of aberrations like that Aboleth.
Well, they certainly turned it into a fine trophy.
The spell's worn
Was
off.
that a sneeze?
Oh,
I
Sweetest guy.
turned to Beezus and I'm like, sorry, I'm out of dog mold for the day. Once we're back, and then I give scritches.
oh. All right. Well, for these pictures, it looks like we just have to kind of trust the process, similar to how we entered here in the first place. So, guess-
Wonder if it will split us up.
I know
We'll have to
that's
face these things alone.
That's my concern. Does anyone have anything that we can give to each other before we go in? That could help.
Do we still
Yeah,
have the
luck.
telepathic bond? I say in my head.
It only lasts for an hour. I could redo
Oh.
it.
Maybe before we jump in a well?
Yeah.
Although it did seem like that could have potentially hurt us when I did it before.
Oh, true.
Maybe not then?
Maybe part of
Seems
trusting
like
the
brain
process
things.
is, yeah. Maybe we have to kind of be alone in our own minds.
It is a trust in oneself and overcoming one's fears. You
Yeah.
might be right.
Doesn't feel good. I want to help you guys. I want you guys to have my aura if we're going through, because we can't be frightened if you're with me.
That would be handy.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
I'm sure you'll be there in my mind.
Yeah. In the pictures, does it show any of the druids like going down the well, or is it just kind of showing like the cavern by itself?
No, there is like a druid lowering themselves down on a rope.
But just individual. There's not like, doesn't show like group.
Correct.
Well, like I said before we came down here, friends, we're saving the world. This is not the time to doubt ourselves, right?
It's true.
We can do this.
From somewhere off in the tunnel network. And Drac, you feel this come up through your feet and into your gauntlets. And Bezius also kind of jumps at this. But there's a sudden boof, as if a far off explosion. And Bezius starts whining a little bit and books out of the room at a, not like sprint, but at a fast pace.
We'll follow.
Oh?
Follow? Yeah.
So pursuing Bezius, you're led through a couple of more of these rooms that make up this domicile, and eventually you come to a room that is spacious. It seems to be a kind of central hub because there are tunnels that go off in every which direction. And in the center of the room, you see Bezius kind of up over an edge of a natural stone well in the middle of this soil-made room. And it's whining into the well and looking back at the group of you.
Do we just jump?
The hieroglyphs had people lowering themselves on ropes.
Yeah. Is there any like ropes or looks of like
Don't jump.
like anchors or anything like that?
Taking the moment to kind of look around the room, you notice that on one of the walls, it seems a root has been coiled up and kind of placed on like a stone jutting out.
Can I give it like a couple tugs to see?
Yeah, so you
It's still
unspool
strong.
this root and
Yeah.
get to the end of it, and the other end is going into the soil, and you give it a tug in. It seems to... It's been relied on for a long time, but it should serve the purpose.
Okay.
Did this feel like where that boom came from, or was that like elsewhere?
It felt far off, but if far off, powerful.
Okay, so either there's something coming for us and we need to get down there right now, or it's down and we're going towards it.
I reckon the latter.
No, there's no ladder.
Oh.
Boo.
Yes, Daddy.
I'll see myself.
Yeah.
No!
Alright, well, I guess we know we have to come this way. Might as well just go for it. I don't know if marching order matters, but I'll still put myself in the middle so that if it does, my aura can extend as much as possible.
I would like to know the order in which you are all heading down. And if
I'd
you're...
like to... I was gonna say, I'd like to try to be around the same space as Arya and Gideon in case anyone slips and I could feather fall us.
I was just going to become an animal that could climb.
Okay, I'll be close to Gideon. I guess you also have feather fall turn. It's fine, wherever I am.
I think
I guess I'll go first then.
I'll go second, but as a baboon.
That's a great ringtone.
Yeah.
Classic.
Alright, I'll go third then.
Okay.
Just presuming Drac will go last again. Sorry, Drac.
I'm gonna bring up the rear because I just want to watch our back.
Okay.
I can go next.
All right.
Then I'll go.
Then Gideon. Great. So, the route seems secured. Abe, you begin lowering yourself into the well. Looking down, it is entirely darkness. As if looking into the well is not going into an open space, but rather it almost feels like you're lowering yourself into inky water. However, the sensation of cold wetness, not that you are one to often be able to feel these sensations, it doesn't hit you. There's no sound of breaking through a barrier. You are just lowering yourself into the darkness. And you, having been the only one with a source of light, you descend on this route. And you feel like the sensation of being a worm lowered on a fishing line into the vast void around you. But you continue. And eventually, you find the bottom. As your foot touches the ground, and you make certain that you have found ground, you look up, and you see the root goes up, but then is swallowed in darkness. Do you do anything to call it to the others, or let them know that things are good, or...
Did we set up the mental connection?
I think we didn't end up doing it. We
Okay.
thought maybe we had to do this by ourselves, and also it might hurt us to do.
Oh, right, yeah. Then I'll yell out that I found the bottom.
You hear his voice come up through the well, distant and faint, like you're catching the last bits of his echo. But it's definitely him.
All right, I'll go in next.
Can you on down?
All right, so the order I have
First,
is...
you, Nell was
Are-
next.
Yeah, Abe,
Are we doing
Azaria.
it just like super,
Yeah,
like
I
one at
was
a time?
next.
Oh, Azaria was next,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, it's all good.
I imagine that we
Here-
were going like not like so spaced apart, so that my aura was actually useful. But I guess
I don't know if I trust all of us on this at once.
okay.
Yeah, I
that's
don't-
fine.
Yeah, does it seem strong enough to hold us all? Probably
No.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Its properties seem pretty impressive considering it's able to hold one person.
Cool.
fact that it held Abe and didn't snap.
Well, Abe's actually a pretty light character because he is a light
Yeah,
frame.
he has a
Dark
light frame.
I could potentially be full of mud and water right now, though.
You have
Or
done
full of
cleansed
baloney.
yourself.
I didn't do a handstand, so.
No, I won't waste the wild shape becoming a baboon. I will trust that I won't slip. And I'll start climbing.
You make your way down. And eventually you make it to the bottom as well. Abe, you don't see Azaria make it to the bottom. Azaria, you do not see Abe at the bottom.
Whoa.
Yell out,
Sorry.
I'm here, but there's no Abe.
It's Azaria's call out is even quieter than Abe's was. Abe, you do not hear Azaria's cry out.
So we're going to be alone.
I think we already knew that.
I should know beforehand.
I
To
trust
expedite
all
the
of you.
process, unless you're all
Yeah.
going to do things to accommodate your descent, we'll
I
say
was
that
just
you
gonna-
all go down.
Hype up Gideon first before we go down.
Yeah, I was gonna do that too. So I think I said I was next.
Yeah.
So I think I'll. I think he was gonna be after.
After
me.
Nell would be Elowen.
Okay, regardless, doesn't matter really. But before I go down, I'll just turn to Gid. I'm gonna grab your head between my hands. Be like, you are so strong. You've come this far. Don't sweat it down there, okay? I'm gonna kiss you on the forehead, and then I'll climb down.
Gideon nods. Good luck down there.
And to you.
Nell goes down. Elwyn, anything before you go down?
I think just look at the two of them and just. I trust you. We have been through
Trust
worse.
you.
We'll be
We
able
got
to do
this.
this. And I'll go down.
Gideon?
Give Gideon a hug.
Gideon
I
hugs
got this,
back.
buddy.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the other side.
Yep. Mama didn't raise a quitter. Gideon
Atta
starts
boy.
climbing down.
And I'll look at Bezius. Keep yourself safe, my friend. We'll see you soon.
And as you make your way down, Bezius comes up over the edge and watches as you descend into darkness. Abe. Oh. As previously stated, you are now in the darkness waiting for everyone else to make their way. And it's taking a suspiciously long amount of time. At this point, you're pretty sure that you're catching movement in the darkness just beyond your light. And you feel like you hear something behind you, and you whip around, and the air is full of smoke. Boulders on fire fly through the sky. People around you at war, battling. And dragons. You hear a huge gust of wind as large flying reptiles rip across the sky and let loose fire, lightning. It is the battle at Brolbar, and it's vivid. You are brought back into it and you're bumped against. And an Argon folk beside you, you turn to them. They hand you an axe. It's your axe, the one that you woke up with. Quick, take this. You don't want to be unarmed for too long. And at that moment, a dragonborn comes up, crimson red in coloration. And the Argon folk that was beside you, like, puts up a sword and, like, swings that blade to the side and dispatches them and runs off. What are you doing?
I stand for a second and think to myself, this is not real. I am the master of my own mind. And I will start somewhat slowly walking forward. Then I'll probably pick it up to a jog. And I'll repeat that phrase a few times to myself. As I basically just see what happens.
All right. You begin to sprint your way through this battle. And there are instances where, like, one of the enemy forces are coming in to strike at you, and then by some luck, someone blocks your blade, or they're put down by an arrow that came from off, and you continue to run. And eventually, as if the edge of the battlefield were darkness itself, you leave the battle behind you, and you turn around, and it's indeed what you had seen before was just the darkness. And to gauge where you're going, you turn back around the way you were jogging, and a human, a dwarf, and a gnome woman. You recognize all three of these people. Two of them from first experience. Well, by first experience, a portrait. One of them, a much younger version of themselves. And the third, only familiar through presence. The human steps forward, dark hair, plate armor. Well, I'm glad to see I'm not worse for wear.
Pascalis, I presume.
The very same. And are you not?
I am Abe.
And Pascalis looks at you quizzically and looks back to the younger version of Kardrak, and whom you can assume is Faye Applebutter. And he looks back to you. Abe, is this what I killed myself for? Was this what my sacrifice brought me?
Was your sacrifice for yourself? Or was it so that the two standing beside you could start anew, could survive? So that someday, Emre would be defeated.
And his hand goes up behind his back and pulls out a dark blade, but a look of stoicism in his face. Well, I don't think it was either of us who killed Emre. Do you have no desire for the legacy I've built? How is it that we are the same? I don't get it.
We are not the same. Your product of your time just as I am.
And what would you have me do? Just go get lost to history?
You are not lost to history. You have a monument. Your name is synonymous with heroicism and self-sacrifice for the greater good. Your legacy, and he gestures not knowing which direction the ascendancy is in, but your legacy is the survival of your people. Of their people.
You're right. I'm being selfish. I was being selfish then. I'm being selfish now. Well, Abe, I have no regrets, if you're what follows. There's still a hero in you too. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, and you actually feel that contact. You take care of yourself, and may your legacy also last. And then he turns around to his two other companions, and the three of them walk off into the darkness.
Abe says quietly, "Goodbye."
At that instance, you hear somewhere off in the cavern, boof, a large explosion reverberates through the cavern, and your head snaps to that direction. It doesn't seem like it's getting closer, but perhaps you got closer.
I'll head towards my nearest approximation of where it is.
And you make your way into the darkness, your axe lighting the way. Azaria. You've descended into the shadows below, and you were expecting to see Abe at the bottom. He must have wandered off. You're pretty certain that the route was not swaying terribly on your way down. There's no way it should have... you shouldn't have landed in a spot that's not far from where he is. You should have been able to see him on your way down. But you make it to the bottom. What do you do?
I observe my surroundings. Just look to see what is around me.
As if you were in the spotlight on a stage. You are in the vast emptiness that is this cavern now. Can I have you make a perception check?
Yeah. 26.
26. You take an inhale, and faintly on the air, you catch a scent of some sort of natural gas. You reckon this might be part of what this process affects, how it affects people. And knowing that it's there, what do you do?
since I feel like it's inevitable, I'll just breathe in deeply. And I think, whereas before I'd maybe been like looking for affirmations from like the world around me of where to go, and this thing said to trust myself, I will trust my instincts and follow the direction. Maybe the direction I smell that smell coming from.
All right. It is somewhat sickly sweet, but also off-putting, the scent. It's like a almost Venus flytrap kind of feeling, where you're like, I shouldn't do this, but it's welcoming in a way. And as you let this kind of guide you, you begin to walk. And the darkness ahead of you begins to illuminate very softly. Fireflies that pop into existence. And they kind of drift by you, as if you were walking along a patio walkway at night, like it's peaceful and calm. It feels secure amongst the darkness. One of them flies right close to you, as if it were wanting to take a look, and accidentally brushes against you as it flies by. And you note, as your eye kind of follows it, like a meteor falling through the atmosphere, after contacting you, it goes down in flames and quickly is burned up.
I'll continue on, be avoiding letting these things collide with me.
As you continue to walk, you're having to take moments to actually step out of the way, like they were intentionally trying to run into you. But you take care to not cause them the harm that they seem to do upon contact with you. Continuing your walk, eventually the fireflies are left behind you, and you turn to watch them fade off into the darkness, and you turn forward. Your siblings, Yalfarin and your sister, whose name off the top of my head, well, why would I remember all the NPCs? What's your sister's name again?
Let me find it. Why would I remember my family? Loreleth.
Loreleth, thank you. Your sister and your brother there in front of you. Well, Azaria, you've made it far. Have you found our mother yet?
No signs.
No. You have no lead whatsoever?
Truly none.
Well, I suppose that's to be expected of the one lacking magic. I've got a lead, and I think I'm going to be heading there.
That's good for you. Glad to hear that.
Well, and I think Loreleth will come with me, as she's constantly pestered me as to not go it alone, so... By the sounds of it, we'll be going to Darkest Heart.
That does make sense. How?
Well, by my own hunch, I think with the right type of magic, the pool where Mother had used to sit should be able to lead us there. Who knows? She might even be just on the other side. Could you imagine if all these years we were searching and she was so close? I'm excited. And I don't get excited.
That would be a danger to a whole village of people there. Opening that.
But our mother is so powerful. I'm sure that if she survived this long, she could absolutely ensure that there would be no repercussions for the material plane side. Zarya might have a point, Ylfarin. Well, even if so, I'm either going it alone, or I'll have you with me. But I leave that to you. And Zarya, of course, you're more than welcome to come as well.
No. That's also whatever vision this is, whatever thought is tempting me with this, whatever thing you think of my family, maybe what I think of what they want. I don't think in any way this would be what our mother would want. To risk life here in the hopes of something that we don't truly know. And I did lie to you. There was a thought earlier of this exact same thing when we were in Varm Hall. And I so badly wanted to jump in there. But the sacrifice that could have happened by doing that isn't a risk that's worth taking without concrete evidence, without knowing that the folks in Varm Hall would be safe.
You value them that much?
I do.
Do you not?
They have been.
Do you not miss home? Do you not miss our mother? Like, you.
Of course I do. And of this family, I was the one who left the Wilder to search.
And you got so close. Ylfarin, there's no need to be so stabbing about this. You're right. This is pointless. I will go and get our mother. And
I will stop you. Unless we truly know that everyone there will be safe.
What's a little discovery? I can't go with you if Azaria's got a point. We can't be so reckless.
If you had asked me months ago, hilariously, I would have followed you. I would have been like, what is one village for someone whose power could probably do so much greatness? But you know what, Ylfarin? I think you need to make friends. I think you need to realize that every life is actually valuable. That all the people here have worth and matter, and it took meeting Nell and Gideon and Drac and Abe and to spend more time with Elwyn to learn that myself. But you are lonely, and I was lonely. But I'm not anymore.
Ylfarin's expressionless face begins to crack. And for the first time in what seems to feel like centuries. He buckles to his knees, head in his hands, and starts to cry. And Loreleth kneels down beside him and puts her arms on his shoulder and kind of gives him a hug that way and rubs his back.
I'll do the same.
As you kneel down next to the two of them, you feel his body sobbing with just so much unexpressed emotion. The sobs that just pierce into your heart, knowing that a family member is in such pain and has been for so long. But you get the sense that he knows you're right. And
I love you, brother. You're a good person.
And amidst the sobs, he gets out, "I love you too," and like full on embraces you.
I'll
And-
just hold him.
And he sobs and sobs. And eventually, the physical sensation of him kind of collapses as fireflies fly off in every direction. Loreleth is no longer there, and the fireflies vanish in the distant darkness. And somewhere off in the cavern, you hear boof, the reverberations of a large explosion, now much closer.
I'll take a moment, just take a breath in, and then start following those sounds.
And you begin to make your way, and feel like in the darkness, you finally see where Abe has gotten off to. Making our way. Now, you've descended the route, and your journey down, you've had to shudder on occasion as the clink of your armor is quite pronounced in the dark void that you've descended into. Other than your own sounds, you hear nothing. You make it to the ground. And you are alone. Though you kind of expected as much. You intuited that somehow this was going to be something you'd have to do on your own. And it feels good. Like, over these last few months, you've built up a courage. Even though perhaps there is the occasional nagging doubt in your mind that maybe things could be easier, or there are more thoughts that could be put into certain decisions, but you feel pretty solid that you've always chose the road of good. What do? You are alone in the darkness.
I think I'll unsheath my sword just enough, like not pulling it all the way out, but just enough to smell it. And then like get whatever like my good memory smell is, and then put it back, and then I'll just kind of pick a random direction and start walking in the dark.
You unsheath the sword a little bit and take in that memory of your village, the smell of parchment and ink, the library that you so loved to occupy. And you sheathe the sword back, and as you open your eyes, Farm Hall is ablaze. It's absolutely on fire. You are standing in front of the Lore Keeper's house, and it is a fiery wreck. And you hear screams amongst the village, and the sky is just absolutely filled with choking smoke. And you come to realize that you don't know when, because you're pretty sure you sheathed it, but your sword is back in your hand, ablaze with your channeled divinity. And you see down at your foot an old dwarf with a sinister face, grimacing at you. Blood running out of his nose and down the side of his face. Well, you got me where you want me. Why don't you do it? Finish it.
I think I'll, basically put my sword right up against his throat, and I'll lean down so there's maybe an inch or two apart from our faces. I would love to slit your throat right now and end it here.
Oh, yes, I bet you would.
But I think you would like it more. And I don't think you deserve something so quick and easy. And I'll remove my sword and I'll just kick my boot into his chest.
He kind of sits himself up.
Foolish mistake. I know your people.
Mm-hmm.
You've got that elf's tint in you. Despicable. You don't know what, given this chance, I'll do next.
Why don't you tell me? You seem like someone who loves to run their mouth.
Oh, I bet you'd love it. But you couldn't kill me if you tried.
You're right. Maybe I couldn't. But also I won't give you the satisfaction. And I'll sheath my sword.
You're a fool, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I've done a lot of dumb shit, and I probably will keep doing it.
Very good then.
And you notice in the sky above you, breaking through the thick smoke, a huge mass. A land mass bigger than the one that possibly made up all the pieces that fell onto your village that you got to experience. It's coming through, pushing the smoke aside, and Kardrak is laughing with evil hysteria. And you brace yourself for impact as suddenly the earth shakes. Dust billows. And begins to clear itself. And what now lays before your eyes is Varmhall again. But the sky is clear. The buildings stand. And the community is thriving. There are people you recognize as your family. People you recognize as Druid in culture. And you look up to the plateau, and once again, those community spaces are built back up, and that tree that Ylfarin planted stands again. And your siblings, your younger ones, now, it seems this is a few years later. They are older, smarter, in the case of your younger sister, or the baby, they're walking now.
Yeah.
And they come up and hug your legs.
I think, let myself savor this vision of what could be. And I think kind of not out loud, but like mentally think like to this ghost of Kardrak. You will always know suffering because you will never know this. And that's something you can't take from me and never will.
And you take in the possibility, you are certain that you are doing the good thing. Maybe not the smartest thing, but it's always where the heart is that'll take you where it is you need to go. And you open your eyes once again, and you're back in the darkness. Your younger siblings no longer with you. The sights of your village replaced by, I was going to say the void, but not literal the void, but the darkness around you. And as you allow yourself to kind of breathe in that good resolution, somewhere off in the cavern, a large explosion that compels you to pursue the good direction. And Elowin, you've descended the route and made contact with the ground. You are alone. And yet, are you ever really alone? You are one who has, for centuries, never truly been alone. And you are so close to having the pieces of a puzzle that could change everything for you. You are on the verge of power that could make the world whatever you want it to be. People forego magical knowledge, thinking that they can perform small tricks of fireworks or conjuring fire. But you've learned much more. How sure the world is made of earth, water, fire, the air you breathe, but all of these are at mercy to a fifth element, magic. And you have come into a very precise and quick control of this fifth element. And you hear a voice behind you. Win?
Yeah, I'll turn around.
It is you, but older. No, not you, of course. That would be silly. It's your sister.
Alara?
It's been a long time. What are you doing here?
Saving the world. What are you doing here?
No, just living the dream. Ugh. I don't even know why I bothered. I shouldn't be here.
No, You probably shouldn't. You're not real.
Well, that's very dismissive. Is that what you've decided about my family, about me? Couldn't even hold my son when he was born.
Don't start with this.
Everything I am, you just detest. Because, like, somehow it's my fault that you're still a child. It's not great being old, you know.
I would love to have this conversation with you, Alora. Really have this conversation with you, but this is not it. This is not you.
Well,
I'm just gonna turn around and start walking the other way.
don't. Of course you would leave. It's what I would do. And you wander off into the darkness and leave her behind you. And eventually, kind of like just inside your own head and just a little bit mad about that confrontation being put on you, suddenly you bump into somebody. And the hand goes to your shoulder and you look up. It's your nephew, Valoon. Hey, are you okay?
I'm excellent, yes.
You know, it's...
You don't need to... We don't need to talk about anything. We don't need to have this conversation. Whatever it is you're about to say, we don't need to do it. Just continue on.
You keep not wanting to talk. It might be good. Sure, it might not be with me. But there's a lot of stuff it seems that you just keep to yourself. I know my mom can be a lot, but... what's the saying? It takes two to... I don't know, there's some sort of dance. But anyway... Like... If not for you... Do it for me. Like... You're not alone, okay?
I have had enough people in my mind to know when things are real. And this is not one of them. Having this conversation doesn't change anything. It doesn't fix anything.
Even if I'm not real, wisdom's not concrete. Take it from your not real nephew. Just think about it, okay? Aren't you supposed to, like, face your truth or whatever down here? I don't know.
Shut up.
Like,
You're so clever.
Where are we?
You're only clever because you're a figment of my own imagination and I am clever.
Oh, look at you piecing together the hallucinations that you're encountering. Maybe the problem is you've been talking to yourself too much.
Certainly be.
You know, you can make the world whatever you want it to be in your head, but reality's different. People don't not like you, or not everybody is how you categorize them. Maybe I am this clever. And I just have to find my opportunity.
You are also very clever.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear you admit it. Though I'm sure if we were in person, you would have done that anyway, but... So, like, you're gonna walk away, or...
No, I understand what this is.
I'll turn back around. Go back towards Alora.
And you walk back in the direction, and you can feel Valoon behind you smiling. And from the darkness, you once again see Alora. She is aged. You see the wrinkles in her face, the tears running down her cheeks, the recognition that she too needs to stop talking to herself and shaping the world in her own image. And as you approach to engage, she lightly smiles, and a large explosion rings out through this cavernous space, kind of bringing you to, and she is gone.
Okay, I get it, brain. Where's this explosion?
Go that way.
You begin heading off in the direction that you heard the explosion. Over to Gideon. You just have to continue to breathe as you make your way down this route. Don't look down. Not that you could see anything anyway, but you know you're high up.
Yep.
And eventually, your foot comes in contact with the ground and you scare yourself. Also, why am I in the chat box of
I was going to say
this
there's
scene?
two of you. Is that on purpose?
No.
Okay.
Huh. That's funny. Well, let's...
Before we dive into whatever the fuck this is going to be, let's fix that.
I guess I'm just here twice. Oh, I know why. There we go. Yeah. So. You continue climbing down this route, and eventually you startle yourself when your foot contacts something, and you realize you've made it to the bottom. But you are completely alone. You listen to see if you can pick up anything. Where did everybody go? You were prepared to be alone, but didn't realize that this was going to, be alone and not make sense. Or everyone's dead. Maybe you're dead. Wait, you were dead. You were dead. Okay. They couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they're out there somewhere. What do you do, Gideon?
Gideon will shout out to the various members of the group. Not frantically, but just sort of, you out there?
Yeah. You call out for your party members. Where'd you go? No response. And even looking back up the route, it's gone now too.
Gideon sort of smirks to himself. He goes, good play, thing. Dirty trick.
And as you kind of chuckle to yourself, you suddenly find that you're not in the darkness. You are in Balesville. And it is currently being destroyed in a sense that you cannot even truly begin to comprehend. There is fire. There are several of those bug-like creatures that you've encountered several times. There are what appears to be almost like rifts or portals and things being sucked into them and spat out in several pieces. It is chaos, as if Nell's magic went haywire and just destroyed the world. Balesville is being ripped asunder, almost to a molecular degree. And your head pounds. It doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? Do you go anywhere? What do you do? Are you looking for something?
Trying to find my family.
Right, okay. Where are you going?
Home.
You book it. You book it to your home through the fields of corn. And as you make it to your house, one of the horses out back lets out a whinny, which morphs into a roar, and it morphs into this strange, like, gray, four-legged creature, gorilla-like, with like 8 eyes, and the snout turns into a fanged maw, and it barrels off. The sky is strange shades of purple and green, and the door to your house is ajar.
I sprint through the door and shout for my family.
And you catch yourself as you're about to shout, as you step inside, and your mother, your father, and your 2 siblings are sat around the table. Well, hey, kid. You're just in time for breakfast.
What? Hey, look outside.
They, like, kind of look at you confused and stand up and go look out the window. Your 2 siblings stay at the table, but your mother and father go and look out the window.
As Gideon goes and hugs his siblings.
You hug them, and they're not responsive. You get a look at them, and they're just catatonic.
All right, fine. Play your little game.
Gideon sits at the table.
Kid, I don't know what you saw out there, but I mean, everything looks pretty normal to me. I don't know about you. No, it looks pretty much the same as well. But
yeah, no, sit down. Let's talk. Let's talk. You know.
You sound a little on edge, kid.
Well, just a lot of things rattling through my mind before this little encounter. So, certain things, Let's talk, though. I'm here for it.
And your
play
parents
dirty. I can play dirty.
Your parents sit down at the table, and your 2 siblings still just kind of sit there, motionless. Well, kid, I think really what we were kind of hoping to talk to you about was if you're not going to be pursuing your magic-y thing, your mom and I are thinking about retiring, maybe go on a trip. And, well, your dad looks to your siblings. Your siblings don't really seem interested, so we figured we'd offer you the farm.
Do I have a choice? Keep going to wizard school or no?
I mean, We have our opinions, but we're not going to stop you if it makes you happy, so...
World's crazy. You seen it out there?
Well...
Someone's got to stop that. It may not be me, but I can maybe find someone to stop that.
Oh, I never knew you had an interest in justice. Oh, that's wonderful, Gid.
Yeah, I got an interest in justice. Look, what is this, huh? What are you trying to do? Here.
We just want to talk to our son about his future. Do you know what you want?
Still kind of figuring that out. But I do know I want to be alive for it.
I sure kind of hope that that's part of the plan, but...
Wasn't for a while, I'll tell you that much.
Now, Gid, I'm frankly getting a little tired of your sarcasm and your
That wasn't
forked
sarcasm.
tongue.
That was... God, I wish I could be talking to the real yous right now.
You're not making a lot of sense, Gid. Maybe
The world doesn't make a lot of sense.
it would be best if you did stop hanging out with those wizardy folks.
No, I like those wizardy folks. They throw a mean party, Dad.
Well, I think clearly you're not in a good headspace, and your mom falls flat on the table, and suddenly from underneath, this skittering brain comes up and over. Perhaps you need to cool off and get in the right headspace.
Gideon, instinctually stands up and goes to try and catch his mother, but stops himself. That didn't fucking happen. At least not yet. Gideon sits down at the table. Nice try.
This
try.
brain with reptilian legs and these... You weren't familiar with this detail in the research, but it has these tendrils that whip out and there's just through the air as if they're sensing around. And it slowly makes its way across the table to you. And you hear in your head,
Gid, if you need a little time, just go ahead and lie down.
No. Nope. I already did that. I'm done laying down. World needs saving.
and suddenly the front door blasts open and wood splinters go in every which direction. And gosh, I'm forgetting all the NPC names. Your buddy there, Monty, comes barging through the door and don't you even think about it. Double barrel shotgun, blasts the brain off the table. Dude, let's get out of here.
Yeah, you got it. Gee. And Gideon just stands up and starts running.
And the two of you book it out of the house. And you hear from off the side of the barn just a faint and you look to see Hildy just grazing out in a field, watching as the two of you run through the corn. And
I go to Hildy to grab them.
And as you get to Hildy, Hildy lowers their head to you. And nuzzles up against you.
How are you doing? God, I miss you. You know, if we didn't have people who could just make us teleport places, get to hang out with you more, but,
It's kind of a benefit. At least you get to retire now. Got it.
And they kind of like gesture up to their back like they're offering you a ride.
I'll hop on.
You kind of get the feel of this is the closest they're going to get to for old time's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And atop Hildy, the chaos of Balesville seems to have frozen in time. Buildings partially destroyed, fire consuming wood, fabrics, scorching stone. It all is a tableau frozen in time. Even as you and Hildy walk through the fields of corn, the corn that moves as you pass it freezes in the moment it was parted by the two of you. And you hear a far-off voice. Close your eyes. And Hildy stops and deep breathes.
What?
And suddenly, you are sitting on the ground of the cavern. Hildy is gone. The chaos of Balesville nowhere to be seen. And as you're trying to get your bearings and get yourself up and figure out what the hell just happened, this loud, thunderous explosion.
That certainly could have been worse. Okay. Gideon just starts huffing her towards the explosion. Starts shouting for people's names. Unless there's more.
Amidst the darkness, Elwyn, Abe, Nell, Azaria, you hear Gideon call out and beck him over to where you've collected. And now, we go over to Drac. Last down the hole. Yes, I see it. I see it.
Daddy
Why?
Twicely's back.
Well, at least I knew what the problem was this time. Now I'm very curious if that was the case in a bunch of the other one-on-ones.
It wasn't.
Okay, that's good. I'm sure somebody would have pointed it out.
Yeah.
Wow. Drac, you make your way down the route. With Bezius above you, eventually becoming only a vague shape, and then eventually only part of the dark ceiling of this cavern. You make your way to the bottom, and you find it pleasantly cool down here. But you are very much alone.
All right. Be okay. Hyped everyone else up. You'll be all right. Just remember the mantras. Okay. Oh, don't like that. Sorry.
The wind
It's okay.
of a wintry storm blows through. And kind of catches you by surprise. And thank goodness you kept that cloak. Though it's not an unfamiliar cold. But it doesn't exactly feel welcoming.
Jack just starts repeating mantras. Just, I can excate earth, bring light to darkness, fish talk guides my path as I guide their will. He just keeps doing that.
And as you begin to move, keep yourself warm. The darkness eventually turns into brightness, the gray of a blizzard. And the snow piles up, and you are left to wander. And after minutes of walking, you pass humanoids, blue, frozen, sticking out of the snow. Every once in a while, they pass. The animals you sense have fled. There is no place here to live anymore. And you see someone in the storm ahead of you.
Hello? Who's there?
I'm surprised you don't recognize your own kin, Istasi. As coming out of the snow, with a torch in hand, copper skin, scales glistening from the light of his torch. Bazul.
Oh, thank goodness it's you. I was starting to get scared you were an undead creature of some kind.
No, I am not undead. I'm just alive as you are. In fact,
Well,
I think I am even better.
I don't know if that's true, brother. This is, as far as I know, all happening in my head.
Well, you are always the center of your own universe, weren't you?
And you?
But at least I have the gut to admit it. And the new visage, as suddenly the copper scales begin to flake away, revealing deep blood red scales beneath, with a very faint darkness between the scales. And suddenly all of the copper that was him is now gone, and the torch kind of billows outward, and the snow separates around you.
What is this? What trick is this?
This... You don't have to be in my way, Istasi. In fact, we could do some good together. But I don't know who set you on this path against me. But it doesn't have to end poorly.
What is this darkness in you? And Drac will run his fingers along the veins.
You run your finger along, and it kind of surprises you to note that whatever the darkness is has kind of stuck to your finger, and you shake it off like some sort of ichor. And
Brother, you are sharing.
Bazul,
Blooded, it hurts.
Bazul inhales, and suddenly all that darkness between the scales coalesces into an orb in his hand. There must be balance, Istasi. You need
Where
to
did
be
you
taught.
go?
I went where... Let's just say to a place where we were definitely not born.
Spirit.
And he crushes that orb back in his hand, and it kind of explodes out and goes back between his scales. Now, what do you reckon yourself? Are you a hunter? Are you a hero? Are you doing the right thing?
I'm trying to restore balance to this world. I do not know what you are trying to do.
I am trying to do the same, though apparently it seems we have different methods. I was doing what I'm doing now. I definitely would have, as a younger Dragonborn, I definitely would have scoffed and slain someone in my position. But it is important to hear other perspectives, brother.
And whose perspective did you hear for whatever grips you now?
The voice of the universe. And suddenly that blackness just like erupts like wings out from his back and envelops the two of you in darkness. You cannot...
Bring back the darkness. Bring back the darkness.
You do not see him anymore. You are no longer
Buzz?
in the blizzard.
Where are you?
I am here. You hear from your pack.
Open it up.
And please find me. And you rummage through the bag. And you find that ring that he had gifted you. Don't give up on me.
Put the ring on. I'm not going to. Stasi.
And when you put that ring on in front of you, like a projection of copper magic and light, the silhouette and the vague outlines of his face, and a smile. I'm sorry I have to be one of your tests.
Minuta, Stasi. I will find you. We will face the end. Together. Hand in hand if we must. I will not be your enemy.
I know. You will always be my brother until the sands of time run out. And at that, the projection, like sand, blows away in a non-existent wind. But you feel the ring. You know he loves you. But you don't get to spend too much time in your thoughts, as somewhere off, a large explosion.
All things will be equal. And I run off in that direction.
The Seekers of Sikramund, you now find yourselves in the darkness, but together. You have kind of come to a... I don't want to say a... Oh, well, I suppose I better turn back to the not just me and Drax scene. That would be helpful.
Drac is our representative.
Oh, now I'm... Yeah!
The episode title for this is Denny Twicely.
Denny
No!
Denny Twice.
Holy frig. So, you kind of find yourselves having congregated around, kind of like this cavern you are in is like one half of the number 8, and you are now coming to the crack that would lead to the opposite side of the number 8. Another cavern through a large crevice in the wall. And you know that whatever is making this sound is just through here.
Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Ellen's still just fuming at the side.
Been better. You?
Alright. I saw Buzz. He's different. Darkness in him I don't know if it was real, but it
None
felt
of this
real.
is real, Brack. It's all in your mind.
Keep telling myself that.
I might have seen a bit of the event. I
You
don't
don't
know how to
know-
describe it.
No one does.
I could maybe draw it if I was good at that. But I'm not. Still in awe that that happened.
I look over at Elwyn. Well, we don't know if what we saw was more than just what our minds created for us, or if this place has some ability to show us anything actually real.
I think
Told us that we were facing ourselves. Everything we saw was just what our minds could conjure.
yeah. Didn't see me at all. Was expecting to see a me.
I was
Same.
hoping I'd just have to punch myself in the face a few times.
Well, shall we?
And as you say that, from the crevice, this cavern on the other side, you hear and just another loud explosion preceded by a guttural roar that shakes the earth. And the lot of you look in that direction through the crevice into the darkness and see the shape of something huge, gargantuan even. And whatever it is has 3 pink eyes glowing at whatever would be its head. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh no. Gross.
Oh boy.
I don't want to wait.
He don't want to wait for his life to be over.
Well, I can wait for that, actually.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh boy, Denny.
Oh man.
That was cool.
That was a
Twist the
good
knife
one.
there, bud.
Oof.
Yeah.
I gotta bully my
was-
brother.
That was such a it's Gorga keep going moment.
Yeah.
Which is my
Oh.
favorite part of Fantasy High. So freaking cool.
To Jonimus, earlier you asked, was it one explosion or several? I leave that up to the audience interpretation.
Hmm.
Some people's visions might have taken longer than others, or who knows what happened in the time of that. But
It's
perhaps
such a
that'll be-
liminal space.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, well, nothing like a good old therapy session. I need a therapy after that. Sorry, Johnny. Well, it's good to be back. Hopefully next time I'll remember to plug my camera in. That's what it was. The camera just died because I forgot to plug it in. Oof. I'm a
It'd be like
streamer.
that sometimes.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey, but hey,
gosh.
we had such great moments as Denny Twicely today, so
Oh
That
yeah.
was so fun.
Denny
Yeah.
Twicely, what a character.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I play as Denny Twicely in the next campaign.
Just 2 Dennys in a trench coat.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
replace my camera with just Denny at all times.
Oh no.
You could get one of those
leave
like,
my
like-
name tag and leave
Yeah.
all my information, but
Yeah.
it's just
Superimpose Denny.
Well, yeah, you could get one of those like VTuber rigs, but it's just Denny.
that
I'm
would
pretty
be
sure
wild.
This
Oh
is
my
this is
God.
identity theft.
Only a little bit. It's fine.
You have a little identity.
What's a little identity theft between friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening so much in this campaign. Might as well.
Yeah.
True.
Oh. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for our first live stream in 2024. And we should be back in 2 weeks' time. This time, actually, because, yeah, I messed up with the saying when our next stream was going to be on that last session. But, yeah, be sure to join us on Discord. Follow us on... Well, subscribe to us on YouTube. Hey, you're here. Might as well. These are the ways in which we'll reach out to you and tell you the definitive answers as to when we'll be going live again. Yeah, thank you everybody so much for being here. And until next time, may you stay kind, stay happy, and as always, play Dicely. Have a good night, everybody.
Play Dicely.
The lie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.